Hi, everybody. So, I'm doing a soul rebirth journey. This is for Jake, and I'm going to give you guys just a little miniature background and then we'll see where this takes us, okay? So, Jake he's telling me he's been through a lot of life changes over the last year, a lot of big ones. And so in this session, he says, however the spirit moves me, but he'd really like to know, what are the next steps for me to engage and develop my own abilities and talents. So, yay, I'm so excited to see where this takes us. Jake, thank you so much for your open mindedness to share this on YouTube. I'm so excited to be connecting with you today. So I'm just going to relax here. And for everybody watching, I'm just going to go into my own little meditative state. I'm going to be going into Jake's spiritual atmosphere, and we'll get to know Jake and see what Spirit has to share about the next steps of his life, his abilities and talents, what those look like, where his life's taking him, those sorts of things. So I'm just going to relax here and getting connected with my spirit guides and higher self. I love the way your energy field, there's a solidness about the way the energy feels. This is just the beginning. There's a lot hitting me in the face. First off, the solidness it really gives you the strength to be able to juggle a lot of complicated things. The solidness does. But oddly enough, I'm noticing that I am kind of in a burning forest, and there's lots of bits of black ash that are in the air. There's something about something is burning or on fire. It's not necessarily in my range of view, but I do experience what is ash in the air, and flakes of ash even kind of lightly falling, like snowflakes, even. Sometimes it feels like this solidness, it could be like a really solid tree, and it's really hard to, no matter how many times I crack this thing with the axe, I swear it's never going to fall down. But if the tree were to get burned with fire, now the tree's turned to dust. The tree's nothing. So we have a man with an axe, he could work all day long and really work up a sweat, and this tree is just taking him out. He's not taking this tree out. But under the right circumstances, this tree could just burn and then be done with it. So, what is solidity exactly? Solidity is something that it really gives you the inner strength and the power to juggle a lot of things, but it also can be easily broken down. Hey, I don't like this conversation. There's something in your ego, or there's something in here that is, I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. But you have like ashy dirt on your nose, ashy dirt even on your cheeks. You don't look like a fully grown man. You look like some type of elvish woodland creature, because you don't look like an elf, which would be kind of like a man with pointy ears or a pointy nose or something odd about the facial features. Maybe really short or fairy-like, or really tall, but still kind of looks like a man. This doesn't. This has sort of like a nose that kind of turns upward and is sort of like a banana or something, but really skinny and kind of long, but comes to a point. Does have kind of like eyes that are more like ear pointier, but the face, it seems more kind of like a tree, like, and it's small. It's a creature. It's got kind of a rounded body. It's more like a rabbit doesn't stand on its hind legs. It's kind of got a hunched over body, and that's its normal stance. So its normal stance is actually kind of like a sitting position or something. And his face, really, I don't know why it reminds me of like a tree stump with an odd, like a branch or something coming out as a nose. And it's got pointy kind of ears and eyes, so it's got like an elvish kind of look, but it looks like a creature or a tree creature or something. It would be like the size of a rabbit. It says I'm still watching it. I see you, I say. It does two things. One is it doesn't necessarily want to be seen as vulnerable. It does not want anybody to see it as vulnerable. It wants to be seen as I've got myself together, I've got it all together. The other part of itself says that, you know what, I'm starting to adjust. It's okay if you see me as vulnerable. I want to come forward and actually get to know more about my vulnerabilities. So you're like balancing two different things. I'm not ready. I'm not vulnerable. No, I'm not vulnerable. You know what? All right, fine. I guess I could be vulnerable sometimes. I'm just going to come forward and we can take a look at this. But the heart of you is like to the core. I am not vulnerable. Despite all of these, like you're trying to like, okay, hot and cold, hot and cold. No, to the core, Jake is not vulnerable. Deep down inside, you really want to be firm that you are not a vulnerable person. So as we can see, we're really trying to make sense of Jake's vulnerability, which tells me, Jake, that you have vulnerabilities. Everybody does. So we got to get down to the root of yours, okay? Okay, yeah, because this is not liking me. This is a pretty, this vulnerable side of yourself is really like, I don't mean to be laughing, but it's really silly because of how it's reacting. It's like huffing and puffing at me, and it's like, I'm not vulnerable. I'm not vulnerable. And it's just like, you're freaking out, man. You're totally vulnerable right now. Just admit it. You're vulnerable. I am not vulnerable. Like, you're really trying to convince me of this. So it's kind of making me laugh a lot. You know, sometimes, like, you're a kid and your parents are just yelling like the dickens at you, and you know this is serious right now. You know you've done something terribly wrong, but you can't help it. It just like you just blow up and start laughing at them, and then that makes them even madder. Like, there's something about this. You're like the adult that's like huffing and puffing the steam out, and I'm like the kid that's trying to take this very seriously, but I can't stop laughing. That's kind of what it feels like. There's something weird about this. So it does. It has something odd to do with like a parental thing. There's something about a parental thing going on here. It's not just about vulnerabilities. It's like a father-like. It has father-like meaning to it. Father-child meaning to it. This is really going into a vulnerable zone. Vulnerable is the key word for you. Man, when I start talking about father-son type thing, I mean, it gets really, that's really something else going on in here with this. Oh my gosh. It's actually pretty, I mean, I'm feeling it out and everything. There can be modes of vulnerability. There can be modes where it just, I don't feel like anything extreme going on with this. I don't feel like there's any kind of extreme, like, concerning things here. Like, I'm looking under the rock. It's like, okay, normal parent stuff going on. Parent-child things going on here. Like, it's normal to feel, am I being a good enough dad? It's normal to feel like that. Man, the more we talk about this, we're going into a place where it's a wooden box, like a suitcase, and then you open it up and you discover there's all these beautiful, intricately made compartments on the inside. One side is like a red velvet, and then there's all these little wooden compartments, and you could put little things in, like, here's a marble in this one, and here's like a little doll I put in this one, and here's a little car I'm gonna put in this one because it's just the right size, and then here's a ticket of that time when I went to the baseball game with my dad, or like, this is kind of like, here's one side, and then here's another another side, and there's like a red velvety kind of thing, and then another is like a bluish purpley kind of color. So we're just looking at this, and it's like a kid's toy because it's really just for storing little kid treasures in the inside. But it closes, and you could carry it like a briefcase, and it's all made out of wood. It gets so quiet all of a sudden. It's so silent and quiet now. It just, like really quiet. No movement, no rustling, no frequencies for me to translate. It just like, you know what, we're playing the quiet game and we're gonna button the lip and you can't speak for 5 minutes. Like, it is so quiet. It's like, I'm gonna, where'd you go? What happened to you? How come, like, you're hiding now, or there's no frequencies here. Zero. Oh, it's weird because in the dark I feel like you left me. And I'm covered in a black, it's a satin, it's like a satiny, something satin about the fabric, and I feel like I'm shrouded in it, in some sort of black shroud, like a satiny fabric. I'm gonna wait for a long time, I say. I'm just gonna wait for a really, really long time underneath this black sheet. I'll just wait here for you. I'll just wait here for you. It's okay, I can just wait here for you. I'll just wait. I'll wait for you. I'll just keep waiting for you. It feels like a child that is saying this to a parent that's gone for a while. It just, like the child says, I'll keep waiting for you. The child keeps saying this to us. The child keeps saying this over and over and over again. I'll just keep waiting for you, and very patiently says it, but also just kind of doesn't give in to sadness about it, doesn't give in to like deep hurt about it, just says this, I'll keep waiting for you. Whenever it feels like it's gonna go into sadness, it just instantly goes to a frequency of just like, I'll just wait, I'll just keep waiting for you. Man, this is really touching a chord here. You're a really good person. That I can feel like very noticeable. You're a very good person. In this place where I feel your very good person essence, it is a complicated maze, and it's so much fun because it's like, could you imagine just you have a normal life, right? And then one day you're on your way to Walmart and you notice something random is right there. So you pull off of the road, you get out of your car, it's like a giant field, unexpected field right there. But it's not just a field. There's actually like built up walls, and it's a legit like ancient ruin maze. And even you could walk on the ceiling in order to find the doorway through to walk over on the side, and it's like one of those crazy paintings, you know, where you have like a room that is all over the place and we don't know up from down or the sides, and like you could walk through it, and it's like the gravity works no matter where you're standing. So no matter where you walk, like when I feel that you're a really good person, that essence energy is in such a complicated but organized maze. And it's one of the coolest mazes I've ever seen. Like if I saw that, I think my life would change, you know? If I saw that maze, if one day that maze just appeared, I would feel like my whole life had changed and the whole world was changing. To expose such an extraordinary and intricate, delightful, random thing that we can all enjoy, that we can all experience, that we can all get confused and lost in, it's like really special. What does that mean though about you? What is that saying about you? We gotta explore. We gotta find out more. It's exhausting. Sometimes I feel like I could get lost in this maze. But it's really, I appreciate that the structure is really predictable. I appreciate, as in, there are always smooth lines. There is no dust in any corner. There's no cobwebs. There's no random like broken bottle or mud pile. There's no random like clothes laying around from somebody who got lost and then there's skeletal bones or anything. Like it is predictably smooth surfaces without any dirt, and that's what it's like in here. It's like so cool that it's like this. It's supposed to be like this ancient maze, but it's got perfect smoothness. No dirt, no random mud puddles, nothing out of line. Nothing out of line here. I say that as I'm sort of like doing some sort of survey of the home, and it's like, nope, I have my pin, nothing wrong here, check, 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 everything is in order, check, check, excellent work. Okay, my job here is done. Bye-bye. That's what's going on, is I am checking to make sure the maze is in order, like it's up to code. It is ridiculously, it's like too up to code. Like, it's not natural. This maze has been here for 10,000 years. Where's the skeletons? Where's the random, like, broken bottles and treasure boxes and people that died along the way? Like where is the insects and the cobwebs and the, like, random portals? Like, where's the fun, where is the I screwed up sometimes, and I was a hero this time, and I ran for my life, and I peed my pants, and I just took it way too far, and I kind of got shit-faced, and it's like, where is it? It's hiding in here somewhere. I know it's in here somewhere. It's so clean. This keeps going. This keeps the checks and balances. Everything is always in order. Everything is always in order. Everything is always in order. Everything is always in order here, sir. Everything is always in order here. It's echoing forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and it's actually driving you mad, because you know that it's time to get a little bit dirty. Oh, this is hard, because that's a very vulnerable for you thing to do, because it's like so different. It's so different. Oh, it feels really, really nice to, God, it's like, in the exploration of what does this mean, I experience walking into what is like an extraordinary mansion where everything is polished and it shines, and no matter where I sit, it's like I just got a shower, and I feel so clean, and I feel so, everything is in order. Like, I open up the cabinets and it's like perfectly polished, like china, and like spoons, and everything is just so in order, and I feel on the inside of myself like a squeaky clean person, and a place that is squeaky clean, and it's like, it can't be real. But yet underneath the surface, this is the oddball thing, that this beautiful squeaky cleanness could be a problem. That is very confusing. How could something so clean and so orderly and so makes me feel clean inside be a problem? No, this is confusing. This is way too confusing, because either you gotta be clean, everything in order, you know where everything is, you're 100% in control of everything. How am I supposed to just not be that, and that would be a good thing? You've got this battle going on in your head about this, because you really deeply are exploring how to be a different design, or a different a different person. To see yourself differently, right? To know yourself in a way you've never known yourself before. Like, like, I'm trying to think of a really good example of what this would remind me of, but I mean, what are the extremes? You know, you could take somebody who has lived in a jungle their whole entire life, is so used to jungle climate, jungle insects, jungle animals, jungle medicines, jungle food, jungle stuff, right? Jungle spiritual ceremonies, jungle clothes, jungle everything. Now, all of a sudden, this person who's had a jungle life now says, everything I've ever known about the jungle, I'm going to go live in the city now. And this is good for me. This is good for me. The Spirit says, yes, it is. Because your heart is calling you to see, feel, and journey, go on another journey in the same lifetime. So now you're not just living one life experiencing the jungle, you're living two lives. One life experiencing the jungle, and now another life where you live in the city. And then another life where you live on a farm. You know, you can do that in a single lifetime. You could have these extraordinary different homes, you know? But it's not just about different homes or having a new experience. I'm a jungle boy, now got to acclimate to the city. It's on the inside. It's not just, I'm going to move to a new place. There's certain aspects about moving that are always going to be the same. So take what you want, take what you need, take your body. You know, you got to do that, okay? Pick a location, okay? I'm going to go there, and then pick a home, you know? So I'm going to live in this place, and I just have to figure out how to cook different food, and the culture or the style of people will be different. And so you're going to run into all these variables that are going to be noticeably different, but it was kind of to be expected, right? So in a way, you're still in control of the experience. You're still in control of the experience. So so how deeply is it going to transform you by having the jungle life and then the city life and then the farm life if it's just out there? But how much is it going to transform you if it's inside yourself? You see what I'm saying here? How do you do that? How do you take the jungle boy personality, which in this case is not necessarily jungle boy like, but it's more like an ancient, like old, very complicated, very wise, very perfectly clean maze. Somebody who's emotional and mental balance, physical balance, the whole balance of their persona is really based on organization, based on just, I don't know, like really smart, perceptive, and then how do you just stop doing that? How do you just say, I'm not going to be clean anymore, or perceptive, or, you know, like, how do we do that? Like, I gotta create Frankenstein's monster or something, like, I've gotta, like, zap your heart, and then, I mean, how do I do that? Your actually deeper self is wanting me to do this for you. Your deeper, your vulnerability has to do with, you know that you need to change something that is so natural for you to do. And something where the rest of us would say, oh my God, I would love to be like that. If I could change my innards, I would definitely take yours instead of mine. Like, yours are really in order, clean. I love being in your spiritual atmosphere. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. It's so clean in here. But you're saying, I want to take this, but I want to do something else with it. And what is that? This is creating your very controlling side of things needing to be predictable in order. I'm 10,000 steps ahead of everybody else in my mind and my actions and everything that I do. This is complicated. I'm going to chill out and I'm going to keep learning about you, okay? Man. I see you understand exactly what I'm talking about, Jake. You're sitting outside of this intricate maze that's really fun and cool and looks kind of like artwork, is always up to code, is creatively, like, everybody wants it. Everybody needs it. But you're not impressed by it anymore. You find it to be hindering your growth and ability to expand, instead of finding it to be your strength. So it's like You are saying this is a strength, but it's not the strength I'm looking for in my life. I want to alter my strengths. To you like, to me, Abby, it's like, oh my god, I would love to be so organized. I would love to be able to think 10,000 moves ahead. I would love to feel so in control of every step of my life. I would love to feel like I had my whole life planned out, because I don't have to deal with any unpredictable stuff. And unpredictable stuff is annoying because it challenges us emotionally, it challenges us mentally, it challenges our family members and friends, it challenges everything. Unpredictable stuff, it challenges us financially, challenges us in everything. So unpredictable stuff sucks. And most people feel like unpredictable stuff sucks. But you're so good at predictability and manifesting predictability that you aren't able to be challenged by that unpredictable stuff quite like the rest of us. So you feel kind of at a loss by being so good at being organized. So it's preventing you from feeling like you ever fall off the horse, you know? Hmm. That's what the whole tree thing is about. In a weird way, you want to cut this tree down that's so solid and strong, and you're working at it. And you're having to come up with new ideas, so you're thinking, well, maybe fire will burn it down. You really are wanting to create a little bit of upheaval and unpredictability in your life. But that sturdy, solid structure is saying, no way, man, I'm not going to let that happen. No way, I'm not going to let you fall off the horse. Are you freaking kidding me? Hmm. This is getting really dense and really deep. There's so much wisdom to say about this, Jake. Because one thing you need to know is that you're working with that some aspect of this about you. It would be sort of like Einstein saying, "Take away my intelligence." Then he wouldn't really be Einstein anymore, would he? It would be like Mozart saying, I have this amazing gift to with music, but I want that to be destroyed now because I want to, be a farmer. I want to work with Mother Earth and I want to make herbal tinctures. Let's just say, it's just like, wait a second, no Mozart, no Einstein. So we need to work with what it comes. It's like you're ingrained. It's like you're stamped with this awesome talent. So awesome talent. We need to something about awesome talent. We need to figure this out because I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that destroying awesome talent makes sense, but I do get where you're coming from. But there's something else. You see, like there's something else. There's something else here. We've got to work with the awesome talent, but then we also have to. We got to switch it up a little bit. But how? So how do we have both? How do we have the best of both worlds? How do we have the jungle and the city experience in one? Like, how do we do it on the inside? How do I have the unpredictable moments while still being obsessed with being in control of everything in my life? Like, well, I don't know exactly yet. I gotta figure this out for you. It's really dense here. It's really connected with the head. It's like when I close my eyes, I just see darkness. But when I close my eyes, I want to see vast universe. I want to see another planet. When I close my eyes, I want to have more creative experiences. The spirit realm says, okay, so let's not break down the awesome maze structure. Let's enhance it with creativity. So that's part of the message here. I'm going to go back and I'm going to fix this tree from the get-go, and we're going to stop burning things down, okay? We're going to brighten this all up. We're going to spruce things up. You really are on a super advanced, deep philosophical journey of self-discovery, and it's spiritual and it's logical, but it's also spiritual, and it's deeply ancient soul energy, but it's interconnected with being a human being in the now moment. And you can see why it's like, you can see how special and how cool you are, and how unique this issue is, but how awesome it is at the same time. And what are the ingredients that you can put into this to really blast off your journey, your soul, spiritual journey, and human journey? The heaviness and the darkness in the mind, and really longing to have like creative sight, psychic sight kind of thing. You feel like you're something about having to be in control of everything or be so logically minded is preventing you from having a creative spiritual experience. That is what is frustrating. And that is why, too, at times you're trying to create disorganization or kind of explore it. Explore something unpredictable. Trying to have more of that in a way to create more creativity or more life experiences. Instead of kind of controlling life, letting life be in control of the journey instead of you being in control of it. Because on one level, as human beings, we all want to be in control of our life. Abby, the more spiritual I become, the more I do this spiritual work, I don't get to have control over anything. I am like the water, and I flow like the tide, and I struggle. It sucks. I like constantly don't know what's going to happen next, and sometimes the unpredictability kind of like, I want it to be more predictable. I want to know what 5 years from now looks like. I don't. I never will. I've never been able to know what 5 years. Doesn't matter if I try, no matter how hard I try as a human being to be in control of my life, it never worked out for me. Never. I was always going to be a failure in every single thing I tried to do as a human being. But if I just let it go and just accept myself as I am and just let the spiritual thing go and be my spiritual self, that's when things fall into place for me. When I try to be a human about it, like all the other humans, I'm going to, I want to own a house and I want to go to college and I want to do all this stuff. Well, yeah, I can have that stuff, but I always find that it's falling apart and it never really has any strong hold with me because my soul is so in charge here all the time, and I'm so like, it decides what I'm going to do. And when I am working in alignment with my higher purpose, with my soul frequency, that's when things work out for me. But when I try to be human about it, that's when it gets worse for me. So something about you bridging from being human about things to being your soul self about things is also included with this. The Mozart that doesn't want to be the musician, he wants to be, now the herbalist or whatever. It's not quite like that, but yet it is. You're like the really amazing, impressive human who now wants to let go of the controlling human nature that you're so good at, which actually manifests really awesome abundance for you. But you're wanting to switch that out for more of that spiritual journey, more of that, I'm just going to put my hands back and let things go and see what happens. That's really what you're transitioning into. You see how huge this is? You see how enormous, like this is a crazy huge like accomplishment. This is extraordinary. Does anybody watching this video have a clue what this means? Like, Jake, this is so huge. It's unbelievable that this is going on inside your spiritual atmosphere. Like, this is so top notch. What your soul is wanting to explore is really top notch. Where people just, want to explore what it's, like to, I don't know. All I'm thinking about is getting my nose pierced and dyeing my hair, and then not eating any food, so I can be like a punk rocker supermodel. Like, I want to know what it's like to be that. Jake, you want to know? I want to be like half unicorn and half person in a human body, and I want to be sexy and like a celebrity about it. It's like so jacked up and weird. It's like, is this a cartoon world, or is this a human world, or is this just wrong? But Jake, so many human beings on one level or another are kind of in that bracket. We don't even know what we want. But you, on the other hand, are so like, I mean, it's crazy that this is going on for you. I mean, it's so wise. Let's just say that. It's very wise and it's powerful. It's a powerful message. It's like, I feel like I'm being blown away by it. You need to give yourself so much ridiculous credit. Like, oh my God. Do you just step aside and just say, you know what, I am quite a dynamic person, that I could be so good at abundance and so good at organization and so good being in control of everything, that I long to overcome that, to not be in control, and to allow my soul then to guide me and to have more of a psychic spiritual journey. Do you see how big of a deal this is? How random and like totally far out that is? That most human beings are looking for, I want to manifest abundance videos. Just talk to that guy. He'll teach you, and then he'll tell you that you don't want this. Because in the end, to truly be enlightened, you have to not be in control of your life, and you have to let things flow. And if they flow in any direction, even into poverty, so to speak, that is the wisdom of the lifetime. That is the wisdom of the experience. It's easy to say when your life is awesomely organized and clean and up to snuff all the time, right? It's easy to say from that vantage point versus somebody who's in the gutter because they just let things flow to the point that they just lost themselves in it. How do we balance? See how complicated this is? This is on your spiritual atmosphere, all this ping-ponging craziness in your spiritual atmosphere. Even these thoughts are about balance. What could be on the other side if you totally let go? I mean, how far could you let go? I mean, truly though, the question is, if you wanted to just totally demolish this maze, how far could you let go of this control mechanism to just let your life just totally falter, and we'll just burn it all down, say hell with it, Because you could go to the extremes if you wanted to. However, how would you ever even know unless, like, you see how good you are at being in control, that being in control now is saying that, so what are you wanting? Just to be living in a gutter? Like, what am I supposed to do for you? Like, this is so out of, you don't even know. It's sort of like trying to teach a preschooler how to do calculus math, because your energy consciousness is so good at this design, and it's your talent, that it's like, the only way to really overcome this is to go to an extreme where you just break everything down. Like, do the most random stuff possible. Get a house you would never get before. Get a beat up lemon vehicle that's going to break down and you're going to have to make payments on it constantly. Go eat fast food every single day instead of like really clean vegetables and fruits or whatever. Go work a job at Walmart. Like how are you supposed to break that? How are you supposed to break that design? How? Because if you break the design, you're not really you either. Because you're not supposed to be at Walmart. You're not supposed to be at those things. Like, you are... I mean, your energy field is so smart. Your energy field is so clever. Your energy field is really advanced thinker. Your energy field is really at that level. Like, it's astonishing to me. It's your talent. It's your talent. So how do you take somebody like you, who's really talented at being like this, as your talent? Your talent isn't, like, for instance, You have an awesome athlete and all they do all day is play soccer, like that's their awesome talent. Your awesome talent is this is this whole thing, is your awesome talent in this lifetime. So again, we're left saying, I don't know how to become more spiritual though with this talent. This talent is getting in the way of my freedom to be a spiritual man and have that unpredictability and that creativity. I need to let go of this. I need to stop being so logically minded or so controlling of even my spiritual experiences. I mean, that's what your spiritual atmosphere is saying. It's interesting because people who are very smart up here find themselves struggling the most with psychic ability, because their logical mind is so brilliant and they're so mathematical and like at their every move, that they don't know how to have free will, because their mathematical side is always 1 + 1 = 2, and it's never going to be anything else but that. And that's the computation. Like the computer does not compute anything else. And so you have to override this with your heart, right? Every mathematical genius, computer science guru, super logical person can become psychic. We're all psychic, so not become psychic, but access their psychic ability through here. Because when you start trying to make sense of it in here, trying to decide what it's supposed to be, or feel like you're influencing it too much, or all of these different things that a logical minded person does when I do like a psychic mentoring session, you've got to go inside here and let the heart take you places and trust the heart. So you start listening not to the head but to the heart. You can practice this at home anytime you want. You just simply sit down. You have the normal things that you're going to do with your afternoon, okay? You're done with your day, you're home now. Most people like make dinner, right? Watch a movie, play a video game. Most people do that. So they get a shower and then they go to bed. Like that's kind of like what everybody does, It's okay if your heart tells you to do the same thing, but maybe, just maybe, it's not about what you're supposed to do, after work. It's about what you're supposed to be feeling or thinking about deeply inside your soul. So you sit down on the couch and you ask your heart, so what do I do now? As you're thinking, well, heart probably will tell me, why not just make the lasagna tonight instead of, the chicken marsala, instead of the salmon with the awesome peppercorns with the lemon squeeze and the rice. It's like your spiritual atmosphere is like perfect cuisine, perfect. Everything in here is like the best. It's like the best. Everything in your spiritual atmosphere feels like the best. It's so awesome in here. But your heart, instead of like doing the most logical next thing, which is what you always do at 5 o'clock or something, is to start figuring out dinner. Your heart says, a memory comes into your heart, and it reminds you of when you're 8 years old, and you were on a long drive, and it took 5 hours, and you kept asking your dad, hey, when are we gonna get there? When are we gonna get there? When are we gonna get there? Are we ever gonna get there? And your dad says, yes, son, we're gonna be there. Just another couple hours. And you just keep watching and watching all the land changing, even as you're driving past. And it just feels like forever, and there's nothing else to do but look out the window. And that's all. Your heart tells you this. And for some reason, when your heart reminds you of this memory, it takes you now to another point of thought and feeling. And it seems different than your usual day-to-day routine, because it's taking you into somewhere even deeper now inside yourself, because you're thinking about your life today, and what that reminds you of something that had happened this week, and how it made you feel, like you were waiting and waiting and waiting, or things are changing, and it just keeps going past you, but maybe you're not grasping it all the way. I don't know what the deeper message is. This is for you. This is just me coming up with an example. But you find more and more and more inside yourself. Is there any explanation to this? Is there any logical explanation to the memory of the car drive that took 5 hours and saying that? At the surface, it's just another memory, just another day. But yet it's not. Because your heart says it's not just another memory or just another day. I need you to think about this right now inside your heart, inside yourself. This memory is powerful. There's a reason why you're remembering it right now. And there's a reason why this memory is now reminding you of something else that happened this week. You're having a psychic experience. That is a psychic experience. That is creativity added to this intricate maze. That is going outside of the logical mind and life just being a predictable thing. Now we're getting to the heart of things, right? Going inside your heart and accessing the richness of the feelings. Not trying to make sense of all the feelings as though they could be written down really logically in a book, and it could be fascinating and it can change people's lives, but it's still the mind. It's still just a computer generating out what other computer generators have said already. How many books out there are just kind of like computer generated messages, but where's the heart and soul of the message? We're going to bring heart and soul into your awesome maze. And that is the psychic enlightenment part. That is the jungle boy and the city person combined. That is the human and the spirit. That is now the oneness, okay? That you're looking for. And you don't need to burn down the tree. You don't need to do that. Don't burn down the forest. You don't have to change your ways. Work with your ways, okay? You came here with this body, with this DNA, with this design, with this talent, and it's perfect, okay? Exactly as it is. Has anybody ever told you that you're perfect just the way you are? I'll let you contemplate that in your own time. But your heart now is the added ingredient, okay? That gives you that transformation you're looking for, that adds to what you already are and makes it more than it ever was before, and gives you that spiritual experience and ascension experience, and it gives you the freedom to have more heartfelt moments that take you away from the predictability, right, of your life. So the spirit realm is saying, just to try it out, why not just own it for a week? That, you know what, I'm Mr. Predictable. That's who I am. And I'm just going to love being so predictable. And I'm going to love this. And I'm going to say to the universe, thank you. I am so glad I'm a predictable. Like, I'm so glad it could be this way, because I'm at peace with predictability in this life, because we're looking at they keep showing me a picture of somebody who doesn't have your talent. You can get way out of balance, and the next thing they know, they're an alcoholic. They've lost their family members and their friends, and their life focus is to overcome an addiction, overcome themselves, overcome this. That's it, and then there's more if they want to keep going, But your life has different meaning to it. So let's work with what you have, and then we add to it, okay? The ingredient we add is heart. So you're going to own it, and then you're going to say, I'm going to be grateful or thankful. I'm going to love that I am predictable. And then I'm going to say, universe, I'm at peace with my design. I'm at peace with my gift. Now teach me how to add my heart into the mix to make it more creative, to make it more colorful, to add more to the fabric of my life, and to enhance the spiritual and the psychic experiences that I want to enrich my life with, and I want to grow and expand out and beyond. I want more color. I want more infinite experiences. Your design tells me that I don't really want to own that this is my talent, because if I own it too much, then again I'm getting away from the freedom I want to have as like a spiritual person, and just going with the flow of things. Man, you've been really struggling with this question. This is the question. If there ever was a question in your life, this is the question. I guess the real question is, are you at peace with yourself? Because this is now like turning into a rumble. It says, but I need to break this down, so I can't be at peace with it. Because I can't be at peace with something that I need to turn to rubble. I need to burn it down. I need to break it down. I need it to fall down in order to get beyond it. So now we're trying to create chaos in order to accomplish something more expanded. So again, you and the philosophical mind thoughts, the supralogical, like extraordinary mind thoughts, you're thinking about this like a crazy person, because you're even battling me on the, but I can't have inner peace, but I can't be at peace with myself. That's getting me further away from what I want to accomplish. Okay, well, let's just stop thinking about it then, because that is what humans do. They think about things. That's what computers do. They compute. They just need more observation, more understanding. But computers have no heart, so you're a human being with a heart, and the heart is your soul. And so now we're just gonna let all this go. Goodbye. Don't need to think about Jake being super organized, or Jake being like totally on top of it, and Jake being super clean, and Jake being, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, everything is in order. We don't need to think about it anymore. Doesn't matter. Because we're going to just focus on feeling. Moving forward with our life, we're going to focus on what's inside here, okay? You're thinking way too much about this. You're trying to figure it out. Just let it go. And now we're going to start feeling with the heart. Not trying to figure it out, not trying to overcome it, not trying to create the change, not trying to break down things, not trying to create chaos in order to get beyond, not whatever. That's all in here. You see what I'm saying? It's all in here. This whole thing has been me going through all of your little flickering thoughts in here, and your momentum in here, and your human way about it all. It's just shh. Nothing else to think about anymore, okay? I'm going to ask the heart every day. After work, you get home, just even in your car, or even at a park bench, or wherever you could have a moment to yourself, just you. And just 5 minutes every single day after work at the same time, just like you like it. But don't think about it like that, okay? Just say, okay, heart, it's us time. I welcome you to show me the next thing. Heart, start to, in my version of your heart experience, there's a woman behind you. She bends down, you're sitting on a park bench, and she taps on your shoulder. She smiles at you and gives you a hug from behind and a kiss and tells you, I love you. It's really genuine. It's really like a connected companion. It feels like you've known her forever, kind of thing. I love when the way that it feels when her warm cheek or her warm face is kind of against your warm face. Like, it's two warm faces, just like, kitty cats, like, that's so adorable when kitty cats like snuggle with each other, because they're like the warm faces could even be really close together, and there's just something really warm and snuggly about it. There's something beautiful about the way her warm face and your warm face. They show me a family, like a man, a father, a mother, and a child, and they create the shape of a heart, like their bodies do. Like the man and the woman stand together, and they kind of create the top, and there's like a boy standing down here, and then it just comes around. Oh man. It's just whenever I see the family picture, I feel like heart palpitations. Even I feel like I really feel like I feel movement inside my heart. I have feelings that are happening, and I feel like this creates challenge, because there is unpredictability when it comes to family experiences. Like your kids can get sick, and now that just blows up all your plans for today because you gotta stay home with a sick child. Kids do that. Kids have needs. That's challenging. So this can create this can really throw a ringer in the predictability plans. It's really good though. Because it's bringing more heartfelt experiences and more heartfelt challenges, and that too is bringing in the spirit essence to what is like a really structured, amazingly put together life. It's incredible. I feel it. I mean, I feel it really inside your heart is so much. Like I can even feel kind of a pain in my heart portal. So I'm just focusing on that and I'm exploring what it is. Okay. And it's a real jam in here. I mean, there's something kind of shakes the foundations with this family image, and it's not like, I mean, I can see family images in a spiritual atmosphere, and it shows me like tremendous nightmare-esque reactions and pain, suffering, like wounds, like for like so brutal wounds. This isn't like that at all. It's actually really what is a genuine natural family balance, and it's really beautiful. And it creates a lot for you to work with inside your heart, because you are so like, I could see you wanting to give that freedom and joy of abundance, but knowing that having a child is, it's not always about you, it's about them too, and that their personality, their talents, their style can be not your own. And so when you try to design them, right, through like the way parents try to raise their kids, we're trying to design them to be just like us, yeah? But then our kids end up to be different, How did that happen? Well, this child has a soul. This soul is on its own journey, And you just happen to be the wise minds, this man and woman are the wise minds that are doing the best they know how to raise this child. And there's complicated experiences involved in this, and that is really got a powerful effect on your heart. And I feel there's far more sort of soul, believe it or not, joy, because I feel there's also challenge here, and this is beautiful. It's not hardcore challenge, like it's like every day. Everybody who has kids experiences these challenges. But you could even take it deeper because you really want to bring your child up with amazing abundance experiences, right? And because you care so much, and because you can, and because it really matters to you. Where some people raise their kids and it's just like, I'm busy on my phone right now. You go play outside. Okay, well then get your tablet and leave me alone. Like you trying, you really want to, there's something very concentrated on this image of family. And it is as important and as powerful as what you are exploring about the structure of your ancient maze design. These two are really at the same level. This one with the family really is hardcore on the heart, where I want to alter my predictability or my style or whatever my talent is really concentrated in the head. So this too is part of the message about what is spirituality about. Well, for one, it's just living. That alone is it. Even for the alcoholic that can't get it together and is now lost his apartment and family and friends, is sleeping outside, that too is a spiritual experience. That's a crappy one. That they're all hard here on this planet, but this is just living alone is a spiritual experience. Now you want to go beyond it because you're really contemplating, really observing, really noticing with your really bright mind these things about yourself that you are wanting to explore them differently. Well, how do you do it? Quiet the mind. Stop trying to figure it out. This thing isn't going to do it. How much has science actually figured out about an infinite universe? The mind is never going to solve the infinite universe because it's infinite. We're human beings. We're like literally so not infinite. Trying to solve infinite. Like you can't just solve infinite with your brain. I mean, your brain wants 1 + 1 = 2. Infinite says there is no such thing as 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 could equal 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 + 1 could equal infinite. Well, 1 + 1 is not the totality, because infinite is about love. Love doesn't have a number. Love doesn't have one body. Love isn't just the earth and human beings. Love is the plants, the animals, the aliens, all the dimensions. Love is the creativity and the infinite. How is science solving love? You can't solve love. But this family experience for your soul is exploring what love means to you. And it's connecting you with a psychic experience, a spiritual experience. Goes beyond the head, right? It's infinite when it's about love. And love is felt. Thoughts can feel like they're being felt. I think I love you. I really think I love you. But do you feel like you love me? Because if you don't feel like you love me, then that's kind of awkward. So now, Jake, do you understand? This is all about exploring what is the difference. Exploring. That doesn't mean thinking only. That means feeling, okay? That means just going beyond, being at peace with everything, and discovering what your heart is capable of, and allowing your heart to be kind to you, to be praising you, because hearts do that, to tell you you're doing everything right, to tell you to have inner peace about your talent and your gift, telling you that you're doing a great job as a parent, telling you these things, okay? This whole journey, this is where the journey comes to a close, all right? I'm just going to relax for one moment here. I'm just coming back into my body and disconnecting from you. Thank you so much, Jake, for this experience. Totally rocked my world. It's pretty cool to meet someone like somebody whose spiritual atmosphere is just like, it's just so many reasons why we're all one of a kind, but this was really one of a kind. I mean, that's not something everyday Joes are exploring with their life. It's not. It just is not. And I have a feeling a lot of people who watch this probably aren't going to even have a clue how to understand that, because it's very complex soul exploration. Very complex. But you can simplify it It doesn't have to feel like complex feels like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this maze? But we just say it isn't a maze, because it's about the heart, and the heart always knows the way. So we just get rid of the maze feelings. We get rid of the need to be in control of destroying the control. None of that is working, because you got to use the heart, right? So in the end, that's the bigger message. And there's something really beautiful about family in you. And it's very positive, even if it can challenge things. It's really on the level of like very normal human challenges, but they also can be more so challenging because of how dynamic your thinking mind is, and complex your kind of life experiences feel, and all of that. But again, we simplify by just exploring things from the heart, okay? And we just that really disconnects us from too many thoughts, too many attempts, too many criticisms of the self. It just let all that junk go, and then we just know we're at peace with everything in the heart, okay? That's going to give you massive growth this year when you continue to allow the heart to be your brain. Not your brain to be your brain, your heart to be your brain. And your heart to get you through the day, and discover it getting more and more full of warmth, spiritual experiences, creativity, color, randomness that's going to feel like natural randomness. It's going to be challenging, but it's going to be good for your unpredictable self, or your self that needs predictability. It's good. And so you're going to find yourself being able to smile more and more, because it's going to get you out of your head and into your heart, okay? That's all I can say. That is seriously all I can say. Jenks, thank you again for sharing on YouTube. I love you for sharing this on YouTube. It means a lot to me, and it's going to teach the world a lot. And for those of you watching, if you're interested in exploring a soul rebirth journey, chakra removal session, psychic wisdom, anything, I've got all types of psychic services. Please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all again, and have an amazing day.